¿Qué pasa, amigos? My name is Ash, and today I want to talk about the gaming industry, the toxic environment that currently surrounds it, and many of the factors that add to the current climate. Starting off with somewhat of a brief disclaimer, I don't believe the whole of the gaming industry is toxic, however, a disturbing portion of the market is. One of the main focuses of the video will look at the gaming news media, how they feed into this adverse environment, and the reasons the existence and tactics of these news and drama channels have been harmful to the art of gaming. I'll go through some of these sources I truly rely on and find valuable a bit later in the video. But first, let's discuss the current gaming landscape and how and why it has become so fake and toxic in recent years. Much like the rest of the gaming world, games media has very much become incorporated, meaning that the industry has gone from a more pure artistic product to one that has given in to the lust for maximized profits. The deadly sin of greed has manifested itself within the gaming industry, taking a toll on the art of video game creation, taking the form of microtransactions, games produced for the masses instead of the core fans, as well as a reduction in ingenuity and unique takes on what games should look like. Cookie-cutter games ensure a certain profit and fan base, while killing any chance of a uniquely ingenious game that captivates a community of players. We've seen this over and over again with games like Madden, FIFA, and Call of Duty. While COD certainly innovates far more than most cookie-cutter games, they too fall into this category. The publisher and studios push these titles out each and every year, and are limited by each title's historical gameplay precedence, as well as a tight release window that forces their games to hit the market at the same time each year, meaning that these games will tend to hit the store shelves half-baked and wanting for updates and DLC. Unfortunately, many developers even use this practice as a tactic to generate additional income. In recent years, releasing games only partly complete has been a strategy for publishers and developers to maximize profit and time spent on their games. Stretching out the content by releasing the full game in bits and pieces pulls out more money and time out of the dedicated player base. Instead of taking the time to fully develop a title, polishing and optimizing the game as much as possible, many studios seem more interested in targeting advantageous release windows. But with that being said, putting the blame on the average game developer is disingenuous, as pressure to commit to the shady tactics we just talked about are most likely pushed upon them by publishers or parent companies, whose sole goal is to increase profit margins. And it's also true that many studios and publishers are genuinely interested in releasing the best game possible, with not a second thought to a game's profitability potential. However, the creatives within a gaming company are often overwhelmed and overruled by the corporate elites within the guiding hand of the studio or publisher. Ubisoft is a perfect example of this. The boys club that formed within the once great studio rotted the company from the inside out. It built a toxic culture around those who were simply wishing to produce a creative, stimulating, and engaging project. Ubisoft executives even went as far as canceling an extremely promising fantasy RPG that was well on its way to being a polished and completed game, simply because the elites had an issue with the resignation of the creative lead who had just left the company. I made a full story on this exact topic in a video I released last Friday, and I will have that video linked in the description and in the top right corner of this video. But anyway, this is just one example of how the industry has been corrupted by a corporate greed and takeover. Having been flooded by these suits and ties, the industry has moved from innovative titles to games that prey upon its creators and players. We've seen the manifestation of this through tactics such as post-launch DLC, loot boxes, microtransactions, and more. Fortunately, the gaming community, and even as high up as international governments, have begun to push back against these practices. Several European countries have banned the sale of loot boxes, calling them a form of virtual gambling, while players have voiced a hatred of half-baked games featuring pay-to-play post-launch content that should have been included with the initial $60 purchase, as well as a backlash against random chance loot boxes or card packs in the sports gaming world. The community has no problem buying badass skins up front in games like Fortnite. That was never the problem. It was the fact that a player could spend $50 and still not get the item they desired through loot boxes or random chance packs. And for all the crap Fortnite gets nowadays, I believe they absolutely nailed their in-game shop. They produced an amazing variety of desirable skins and camos while also giving players skins for free through the battle pass. Not to mention the game actually rewarded you for playing. Personally, I only paid actual cash for the first battle pass. After that, I earned enough coins each season to pay for the very next battle pass. The system wasn't designed to prey on its users. It instead incentivized players and instilled a sense of earning these in-game items. Anyway, I could go on for days about the disgusting corporate nature of much of the games industry, but now we turn to the gaming media. First, we just need to define gaming media, as it has rapidly changed over the last 10 years. In my opinion, I see this corner of the gaming world as anything relating to the spread of news, stories, or information. So bundled within the modern games media, I would say it consists of YouTubers, game journalists, and Twitter users, among a smattering of other platforms. As you can see, games media has gone from a more exclusive club to a wild west of an anything goes mentality, and this is the exact reason we have fallen into a pit of chaos. Currently, anyone can have an opinion reach an audience of any significant size. Bad takes, misinformation, and outright lies are abundant. The toxicity within this realm is at an all-time high, and it has really tainted the gaming world in various ways. 10 years ago, games media was relatively exclusive, with players flocking to online sites or magazines like IGN or Game Informer for daily news and gaming updates. To a certain degree, these companies were held directly accountable for the opinions they published. They were held in check by the community as well as their direct competitors, who could potentially steal business if a slip-up in accuracy or opinion were to occur. In the modern games media landscape, anything goes, and people flock to opinions that reinforce their previously formed ideas. Only a small number of players seek a well-written and designed article or video. Rather, they choose clickbait and deceiving entertainment over the facts of the situation. However, I don't blame the consumers for this, as we are all designed to seek out those exact things. I do, however, blame those that knowingly look to lie and deceive in the name of clicks or views. Some people would rather be first to a story, while others want to establish full context, a valued opinion, and wait for a well-developed story. The people who wait, develop, and craft a story are the ones we should idolize and put on a pedestal. It has always been the goal of this channel to form a community that values the opinions and stories within these videos. While being the first to break a story is cool and exciting, having an opinion on a matter that people would like to hear even after they've heard the story 2 or 3 times is a true achievement. Providing valuable insight into a situation is what I believe we should all find the most appealing. Instead, some are hiding behind what is known as the breaking news doctrine, as many are willing to throw others under the bus for money and a following. Minor news sites, YouTubers, or Twitter users are all vying for clicks, views, and retweets. Most of these people would rather hit viral status once instead of building a stable and loving community. Again, this is something I could talk about for hours, but I just needed to make a rant type video to get everything out that I've been seeing over the past few years. I know there is so much more to touch on, and I've made a similar video to this I'll also have popping up in the top right corner and linked down in the description. Within that video, I talked about how the internet has ruined gaming. I touched on topics completely unique to this video, and I think it's worth the watch and your feedback on what I present. So at the start of the video, I said I would provide some of these sources that I have found and now rely on. All of them will be linked down below as well, so drop them a sub or a follow. On Twitter, Saved You a Click is a great page that takes all of the clickbait titles from the gaming world and gives you a quick synopsis of what the article or story is. His page is brilliant and often hilarious, as a gaming page will clickbait the hell out of a story that he can sometimes go and sum up in just 5 words. Another Twitter page is Slasher. He is a top-notch gaming source, and he provides original leaks, stories, and news all the time. If you want to be in the know about any major dealings within the gaming world, he is a must follow. As far as my go-to old school games website, I now prefer PC Gamer. They cover the whole of the gaming industry, and to me, they are the most accurate, reliable, and non-biased source in that realm of games media. As far as the YouTube scene goes, there are literally thousands of great channels out there, and as far as this arena goes, I follow Esports Talk, who has blown up recently with their on-time unbiased reporting, as well as a variety of other channels that are more dedicated to a singular topic. Personally, I like to follow Alpha Investments, who covers the card game Magic the Gathering, trainer tips for Pokemon Go, Cypher PK for all things Fortnite, and so on. YouTube is generally the more bountiful place for all things gaming. There are tons of amazing creators who do things the right way and provide well-produced and executed content. It's all up to your specific taste, but I'd recommend shopping around different creators and generally avoiding toxic drama channels that do little more than poison the well of gaming. Anyway, that will do it for this video. Make sure you hit like, click or tap that subscribe button to become the heart of this gaming channel, and be a part of the conversation in the comments below by telling me how you feel about any and all of today's points. And for more gaming analysis, news, reviews, and opinions, stay here on Ash Heart. And as always, thanks for watching.